Today we're going to be doing a training on how to create a profitable online course. You know, it's the key theme for us at the moment. If you're a part of the Coaching Masters membership, then in our private community, you know that we've just excited some very exciting news. And did I say very exciting, or very?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It was good. Double excitement. That's what we like.
We just announced some very exciting news that we're going to be doing. Some stuff around the course creator that you're going to hear. Today we're going to be running through in a little bit more detail. So showing you literally the A to Z in a very brief overview of how you create an online course. It's just come at the perfect time. You know, we've been building online courses for the last couple of years. And more so recently, it's just become the hot topic because people are looking for new opportunities. You know, people are looking for ways to make an income because they're now being forced to. Before it was like the luxury of, oh, let me make a side income. Let me maybe go after my dream lifestyle living in Bali. And now it's kind of like, whoa, I don't know if I've got, you know, any job security anymore, or I don't know if I want to live in this country anymore. And I need to look at a new option. Now, a lot of people are scrambling around trying to do the online thing, trying to like sell their business strategy that they kind of know about the online world. And we're like, guys, we've had this now down for a number of years now. And you guys want this stuff, do you? Okay, well, we're going to package it up and offer it to you. So yeah, it's been something we've been diving really deep into recently, but you guys are going to get all the value that we've got to offer consolidated into a very short and concise podcast episode. And we're just going to lay out all the secrets, all the golden nuggets, all the tips and tricks for you to be able to go out there and literally launch your own online course after watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, should I say? Because we're just going to lay it out. We don't hold anything back. We made a decision a long time ago. I don't even think we made a decision. It was just, it wasn't something we said, but we just knew that we were going to have this abundance mindset where we're here to serve, we're here to give, we're not going to hold anything close to our chest. If we've got value to offer, we're sharing it. So there's people that would say, I'm going to keep these best bits, I'm going to hold them in my back pocket, I'm going to sell them, I'm only going to give them to people that pay me high ticket or go to my mastermind. We're like, we will give out everything we've done. And we know as a result of that, that will come back round. You know, good karma will come to us. People will want to reinvest with us. People want to learn more from us. So we're actually going to lay you out a very simple, but very successful strategy that you can use right here, right now, to go out there and make money by selling an online course.
It's interesting with us, isn't it? Because of course, I feel like I'm saying the word course a lot as well these days, but you know, our expertise, it exists within the world of coaching, you know, and this is what people see us for, and that's what they know us for. And that's our background in many respects. That's where we've come from. We're experts in coaching. So what me and Lewis wanted to do, you know, once upon a time, and it doesn't, I mean, it seems like a long time ago, and in another way, it doesn't. We made the decision we were going to package up that knowledge and that wisdom in the form of an online course and sell it. Having done that so successfully, our expertise has now transitioned. You know, we are still coaching experts, but our expertise has now fully transitioned into the world of online courses, because that is where we've built our empire. That is where we've managed to connect in with 40 people in 47 countries around the world and change hundreds, thousands of lives now, actually, because of the online courses that we create. So guys, you might see us as those coaching experts, and we are, but if you've ever considered building an online course in any topic, we're the guys you want to learn from, because we're the ones that have done it wildly successfully.
Because I guess to give a bit of transparency and a bit of a disclaimer now, you know, often we say we built a 7-figure coaching business, and actually, you know, thinking about it, we have, but it's more an online education business, you know, because if you was to do coaching one-on-one, it's very difficult to earn more than say 100, maybe a little bit more, maybe $200,000 a year. Now, to a lot of people, they're still going, "Okay, hell, that'll do." You know, that's 3 times the amount as a doctor. I'd probably be quite happy with that, and of course, that is good. But you know, we haven't built, you know, a team of 30 now across the world, you know, from delivering one-to-one coaching sessions. We've built that by selling online courses. So, yeah, it's great to be able to share some of this strategy with you. And you know, if you haven't yet considered selling an online course, you know, it's something you might want to consider very, very quickly, because we're living in an era now where you can sell an online course for as much as you want to as many people as you want, as many times as you want, and there is nobody stopping you from doing it. It's an unregulated industry. And if you've got knowledge to share with the world, then you're within your right to go out there and sell it. Now, we don't know how long that's going to last for. You know, the online world is new. Information sharing is new. Social media is new. You know, we don't know what regulations or what policies or what privacy laws they introduce as this, you know, new digital revolution develops. But right now, you can literally just jump into someone's front living room and say, hey, oh, you've got that problem of you. Well, just so happens I've got the solution, and you can make a lot of money from doing it. Now, the online world recently has absolutely exploded. You know, whereas the offline world is crumbling, the online world is thriving. Like, people are going online, they're buying things online. And something you said the other day, Liam, which I found so interesting, was this, you know, this boom in online education, not just from the course creation and people looking to level up and buying a program on how to start a business or develop their confidence, but it's actually where education is going and where the future customers of tomorrow are going to be familiar with doing. I don't quite know where I was going with that, but I mean, share that with us, Liam, because when you said that, I thought, wow,
Yeah,
so true.
It's just that, like, so many times throughout history, there's always been like these gigantic opportunities. And what I've come to discover is that people that really claim an opportunity in the best possible way, they're thinking further ahead. You know, they're thinking generationally. You know, they're looking at the children of today as the buyers of tomorrow, and they're trying to prep for that. And that is when really the most successful people in the world, they thrive. And that's why online courses, it's such a tremendous opportunity, because at the moment, with what's happened with COVID and all of the kids are now being homeschooled, they're being homeschooled via online courses. Their schoolwork has now transitioned over into an online course. Did the schools want to do that? No, who knows whether they wanted to do it or not, but it's worked and it's happening. And even to the extent where Harvard University has said that even after all of this craziness comes to an end, they're going to continue to teach their classes online and keep that premium price tag. Online courses, this is the way that the children of today and the buyers of tomorrow will just know how to be educated. They won't know any other way. This is how we learn. So claim that space now. Claim that space now. Create successful online courses. Start with one at least, which is what we're going to talk to you about today. But honestly, guys, when people talk about a gold rush, right, there was the actual gold rush. There was the fucking .com bubble. There are booms in these generational moments, and online courses, we're at the verge of that one, because it's the way that people learn now. And it's the way that people will continue to learn for generations to come.
Exactly. I mean, it's just everything is sort of intertwined right now to make this perfect. You know, more people are online viewing and consuming content because they're at home during lockdown. They've got nothing else to do. The whole world is in lockdown. We've never in our lifetime or in our history of mankind seen an opportunity where the mass population across the entire world are all doing the same thing, sitting and scrolling on their phones, and they are consuming content. And I just want to make sure that everybody listening to this makes a decision to be the creator of the content rather than the consumer. 99.9% consume. They love it. They'll sit there, they'll watch the newspaper, they'll watch the news, they'll read social media, they'll read blogs, they'll watch videos, they'll look on YouTube, they'll listen to podcasts, right? And that's just scratching the surface. They'll put on the TV for 8 hours straight and they'll watch reality TV shows. And you know what, really, I mean, this actually, when I realized this recently, I was like, oh my God, right. And I said this in a training and it was an international audience, so they didn't know what this was, but a soap opera, a soap, right? Apparently that's not international. So it's an English thing, apparently. Okay. So I don't know what you would call that, but a soap opera in the UK is essentially, you know, a fabricated life. It's like it's a drama of people's lives, but it's their everyday normal lives. So reality TV is watching someone else's life. Now that in itself is pretty insane. I'm going to sit there and spend all my time watching somebody else's life, right? But a soap opera, that's one stage more. They're like, I'm going to sit there and spend all my time watching somebody else's fake life, right? Yeah. Now, this is the mindset of the general population. Consume, 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 right? Distracts them from their own reality, distracts them from their own life. They don't have to think about their own problems. They just want to consume content, right? Just make sure you're the one that's creating it, because people are desperate for it. People will buy it, people will consume it, read it, watch it. And we're, testament to that. We make $150,000 a month selling videos, right? That's the reality of it. $150,000 a month selling videos. That cannot be real. Yes, it is, because people want to watch those videos, and they'll pay for those videos if they can add value to their life, because that's what people like to do. Consume and learn and develop, and just make sure you're the one that's giving it to them. Otherwise they'll buy it from somebody else. It's insane.
And it's such a powerful moment as well, because times have changed drastically so much. Like, I think a lot of the time people still have this mindset where they think of, if somebody is on a screen and they're delivering value and they're making money that way, then there must be a high production value behind what's happening, because we're used to watching television, dramas, movies and stuff like that. But very, very, very quickly, technology has changed in such a rapid way now that everybody has the ability to film that value that they have inside of themselves, right? Like we say there, we sell videos, and we do. The one thing is we make sure that the content within those videos is so highly valuable that we know it will change people's lives. But they're still videos. It's still just a recording on Zoom. It's still using the materials that everybody has access to. It's not like we've got some sort of magic studio that we step into that makes us look amazing and makes us sound amazing and fucking produces the best videos in the world. We use what you're looking at right now.
And it's actually insane, because, we've recently obviously stepped in for the first time in our life to bricks and mortar business, and we've just opened this cafe co-working space out in Bali, right? And it really puts it in perspective how insane the online world is, because, for full transparency, we've spent in the region of about $140,000 building that coffee shop, right? That's in Bali in Southeast Asia, where food costs you about $2 or $3, right? So I wouldn't even like to think how much that coffee shop would cost in, say, the UK. You're looking at £1 million, right? Yep. Yeah, to build a coffee shop that in reality doesn't make a huge amount of money. I was a bit shocked. I was like, fuck, we're at full capacity. Oh, is that all we're making? That's fucking shit, isn't it? I'm not used to it. I'm thinking, where's the millions at? And I'm like, oh shit, what are we going to do? How are we going to scale this? We can't. Oh no, you're joking. Anyway, so it really put it in perspective, right? How much of an opportunity we have online, and how fucking easy it is, because there's no staff, there's no startup costs, there's no stock, there's no depreciation, there's no anything. You just find somebody that is looking for some knowledge in an area that you happen to have, and you just give them a recording of it, and they pay you, and then you go out and replicate that process to every person that also wants that, and each time they do it, it pays you money. I mean, I think we're gonna have to close down the coffee shop and just carry on with the courses, mate.
Like, I know, of course, like the comparison's ridiculous, and we've stepped into both worlds, and I'm glad that we have, because it's like an amazing experience and it's a good thing to have done. But the comparison is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, if you think about it, with an offline business, another limitation is the amount of people that can actually be inside that one building at one time, sitting down, eating food. And then they're buying, it's actually not that difficult, because we've done it in the right way, but it can be difficult to get a customer, right? But then once you get that customer, they're only going to buy like a maximum amount of like coffees and food and whatever that was going to accumulate to like $20. But so they're not spending that much, right? Think about how much is a customer worth to us as a student, right? We're talking thousands of dollars. Now, a customer, how much are they worth to us as like one person that goes into a coffee shop? They're probably worth like $20 or something. And you got to pay for the food, and then you got to pay for the staff, and you got to pay for all the fucking kitchen equipment, and you got to pay for the rent, and you got to pay. And it's like, I've been talking recently, and I'll reveal this soon. You know this, Lewis, but I've been talking to quite a famous business owner in the UK who runs a series of bakeries. And it's just amazing talking to her, because it's almost like the fucking profit that can be made on one of those cups of coffee is like 10p. And I'm like, well, how many people do you need through your door to make money? She's like, well, I need them constantly. I need them constantly coming through the door in order to make like a couple of grand maybe in a week. And I'm like, fuck, that's like one course sale. That's ridiculous. And once that person signs up to that course, I don't have all of these costs that you're talking about, like staff costs and fucking raw materials and rent and all that stuff. The comparison between online and offline is a joke, really. It's just ridiculous.
It's like there's exponential growth and it compounds, and you can just put in a very small amount of effort and time and get paid exponentially from doing it. You know, some of the things we talk about are the webinars that we do, right? So let's just start there with some value that we're going to start off with, guys.
Yeah.
You know, you used to be in the day and age where if you wanted to sell something, you'd have to knock on someone's door and you'd have to pitch them, or you'd have to ring up the receptionist and book in a meeting and go and put your suit on and drive down the office and go there and have a coffee and pitch them. Or, you know, even in modern day times, you've got to get on, you're going to call, you know, speak to them, book in a Zoom call, get on the Zoom, pitch them. Discovery calls, we call it in the coaching business. All right. And that's okay. You can make some money doing that. But there's only so many of those calls you can actually do. And there's only so many clients you can take on. Now, we live in such an amazing world now where not only can you use videos in order to be able to deliver the value that you've got to offer, you can also use videos to sell it. Now, if you've heard of the expression webinar, a webinar is essentially a web seminar, and seminars are, you know, events that people go to, and then there's a sale, you know, a sales presentation that happens. And let's just strip it right back. In a nutshell, a webinar is a video that sells your course. So simple. Usually high value at the beginning and then an offer at the end. Okay. Now, the good thing about this is you create that video once and that becomes your sales presentation. And then you just ask people to watch the video. You don't have to go for meetings. You don't have to knock doors. You don't have to call people. You don't have to book Zoom calls. You literally just ask them to watch the video, or you drive massive amounts of traffic from social media, or of course, when you're scaling up, you can actually pay for advertising on Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads and Google ads to drive traffic to your video. And then a certain percentage of those people will buy your course. So it now means that tens of thousands of people can watch your webinar. Now that's if you're scaling traffic to it, but even organically, to put this in perspective, we've done a live once and it was about 1 hour and 15 minutes and it was in a community and we put in an offer and we made $250,000 on a launch. I mean, can you think about how many cups of coffee we'd have to sell in order to be able to make 250,000, probably like 1 million cups of coffee?
Yeah, 1 million. I mean, and you've got I don't know the numbers, but I mean, you've got to be a fucking extremely successful coffee shop if you're going to sell 1 million cups of coffee over the course of a year. I would say a year even. Oh, yeah. And you've got to be dead central as well to be selling that. I mean,
that's if you're making 100% profit as well.
Yeah, exactly. Let alone the fact you're only making fucking 7 pence every time you sell one of these things. But yeah, it's crazy. And what I want everybody to know here as well, you have a course inside you. You have one, right? You have one because you have something very valuable to teach that other people would pay good money for. Even if you don't know it, there are things that you're very good at that you take for granted, that you look at and think, oh, but everybody's good at that. Everybody's good at that. Why? Because it's easy. No. It's easy to you because that's your superpower. That's your skill. And I can promise you now, what you find easy, what you could talk about for 2 hours straight without being interrupted, just flowing off the top of your head. There are loads of people out there that would love to have that knowledge. So everybody listening to this either live or on the podcast, you have a course in you. It's a guarantee. You have it. It's there.
And Liam's the sort of person that will empower you and say, you know, you're amazing. You've got so much value in you. And that's true. But on the other end of the spectrum, let me just say it how it is. And this is going to like twist your head. Some people buy bags of dog shit online. Bags of dog shit. I have no idea what makes them do that or why they want that. But for some reason, in someone's head, there's value in a bag of dog shit.
I knew a guy who used to sell fox piss online once, and I don't know what it was for. I assume it's some farming thing, but he was very successful.
Fox piss?
Fox piss, bottled fox piss.
What is that? It's like some man's rubbish is another man's treasure, or whatever it is. But there's a lot of people that would, you know, like to get as far away as possible from fox piss and bags of dog shit, whereas someone else is paying their hard-earned money for it. There's also a guy that became a millionaire from selling potatoes with happy birthday written on them, and he sent them in the post to people on their birthday.
I read an amazing story once about a guy who he found a rock, right, just a rock on the floor, and he made the decision that was his gratitude rock. So every time he looked at it, he was going to feel very grateful, and it really helped him a lot. And apparently, he told a few people about it, and he had people coming to him asking if they could buy gratitude rocks off of him. And he was even saying, like, you do know it's just like a rock, right? And they were like, yeah, but we want one of your rocks because we want a gratitude rock. It's just incredible, isn't it? It's all about understanding that there is value in everything, depending on who you are and the way in which you present that value. There's value everywhere.
Well, there's just so many people out there. And the good thing about social media, again, with this exponential growth, it's not just financial. It's not just, define all the laws of what we think we can do with our time. I've got to earn my money. I've got to earn money per hour. You cut through all that and you can use videos to reach millions of people in a fucking second. But it's not just the time, it's also just the reach that we've now got. With any normal business in a coffee shop, you're reliant on the people who walk past, or maybe someone that can travel in their car from 10, 15 minutes away, but no further. But with this, right, we can just find the people that want this exact thing because we can target the entire world. There's Facebook groups full of people that want very specific things. There's hashtags and Instagram of people that want very specific things. And also with ads, advertising and things, you can target very, very specific. You could target someone that is 18 years old, living in America, that likes Tony Robbins, who's got their business page, that are into coaching, that are single, that earn over 50 grand a year. There's so many data sets on Facebook. I mean, that's a conversation for a whole nother topic, but the data that Facebook and Instagram and all these other social media platforms have on us, they know more about us than we know. They know about our buying behavior, our phone usage, our location, our interests. They're listening on our microphones and our pictures, and they're picking up keywords. They know everything about what we want and need, which is why they're the most advanced marketing platform and advertising platform in the world. So because of that, we can leverage that. And we don't have to be selling these courses to people that don't want it. Hey, you want to buy a course on fucking fox piss? No, thanks, mate, you freak. Get out my fucking, get out my DMs. I'm not interested in your fox piss. We literally find the exact people that are looking for fox piss and then sell it to them, right? Yeah. That's the reach that we now have with social media. It's insane. And I'm just so glad that we figured this out early on, because
I know, mate. It's funny that you say we figure it out early on, because we did figure it out early on. COVID has now, I like because you often say this, Lewis, and it's true. It's the fact that the world was moving in this direction anyway, right? It was moving in this direction, but COVID just accelerated it. It sped up the process. It put people in a position where they had to move in this direction now, even if it would have been something they did in the future. What would you say then are some steps? What are some key fundamental steps that can help people build a profitable online course?
Well, of course, there's a lot more detail that goes into this, but if you really simplify this and just think of the core steps, you can do it in the way that I'll lay out now. And guys, I don't want you to overthink this, because everyone overthinks everything, and it's why they paralyze themselves to not do anything about it, right? When you think of an online course, you could think, oh, I want to spend 6 months to a year getting it perfect. I want to buy an expensive camera and learn how to, paint my back wall, so it looks all clean. You could be, what platform am I going to put the recordings on? All that stuff is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. We didn't do any of that stuff. We just launched ours on a Facebook Live and did ours on Zoom. And we made, because another thing that's quite impressive is some people always say to us, like, oh, where did you get your funding? Where did you get your investment? And we're like, we didn't have any. Like we didn't do any of that. We're not like Series A funding, fucking pitch decks and all that. I don't even, when they talk about that stuff, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because they've had to go to these like angel investors to pitch for their startup capital and all that sort of stuff. We just made the money and then just used that money to reinvest and started from zero. Like we've not put a single pound into this business.
I want to really emphasize that as well, because you see it all the time, right? And just thinking about it from sort of like the everyday person perspective, a lot of the time, especially in the UK, people learn about the ins and outs of stuff like that from things like Dragon's Den and things like The Apprentice and that, because they give you an insight. And I tell you what, genuinely in the world of business now, honestly, guys, and this is just to emphasize that we are the people to learn from, to have built an organization, a business off the back of online courses that generates over $150,000 a month with no investment and no debt. no investment, no debt. It's unheard of. It really is
No
unheard of.
experience, no knowledge,
No
no
experience.
qualifications.
No, our experience was just in the topic of our course was, which is coaching. But in terms of experience of building a business this size and running online courses and an online education tech platform, we didn't have that experience, but we knew what we had to offer in terms of the content of the courses. That was really the biggest thing for us because it was valuable content.
I think the first time we did like a soft launch, we made, I think it was only about 16 grand. And that was just throwing it just on a Facebook Live, like, hi guys, we're doing this course. It's going to be at a discounted price for the first one. Who's up for it? And then I think we made about 16 grand or something.
Yeah.
And we was like, fuck it, that's good, isn't it? So, hey. And then we just used that 16 grand to invest in, I think it was copywriting first and and a website. We didn't have a website. And then we made another round of the course, made more money. And then we had like 100 grand the next time, didn't we? That was like a big one.
Yeah.
And then we just like hired more people and it's just grown from there. So it's pretty amazing. Anyway, guys, so we're going to show you how to do it in a nutshell. So simple. First of all, you got to pick a niche. You know, what are you actually going to sell your course on? Now, we could dive into this in a lot more detail, but I just want to keep it real simple. Something that you can add value to somebody on. Now, the first thing I want you guys to realize is it doesn't even need to be complicated or an expert level. In fact, it doesn't need to be an expert level. If you are an expert, you are at a disadvantage. Do you know why? Because you're going to confuse and overwhelm the people that are watching the course. Okay. The people that buy courses do not know anything about that subject, or they wouldn't be buying an online course. And I see people do it all the time. I look at their courses and I'm like, fuck, they're not going to understand that. You've got that typical sort of expert status where you don't realize that what you know is so advanced that people aren't going to get it. So actually, you just need to be able to be one step ahead of the person that you're helping and deliver the foundational knowledge to get started. That's the best type of knowledge to have. So what can you add value on to somebody who has no idea about that area? It might be that you know how to put together Excel spreadsheets. It might be that you happen to, have a good lifestyle, and you know how to socialize and network and meet new people when you're abroad or something. It might be that you, are good at baking. It might be that you're shit hot at, writing social media content. It might be that you are great at confidence coaching or leadership, or it really doesn't matter what it is, because there's always going to be somebody out there that needs that thing. I've done been helping people with building their online courses recently, and there was farmers there, people helping people start photography businesses there, people that do water management assessments. It's just anything that somebody doesn't, right? And very simply, you pick that area, something that you can add value in, then something you would enjoy teaching, right? And something that has some form of demand. And that is pretty much everything. It's something that's going to be able to pay you money. There's no point picking, for example, maybe like helping people that are homeless, for example. Of course, you want to do charity, you want to help those people. But in terms of building an online course, homelessness or children or, that sort of stuff is probably going to be a little bit more difficult. But everyone else that has an income that's online and has a phone is going to be profitable. So just pick a niche that A, you can add value on, B, you would enjoy teaching, and C, you just know that some of those people, not all of those people, could afford to buy a course.
Definitely. Because that other stuff that you mentioned, the charitable stuff, like that can come after, that can come later. Like make money from your online course, and then you can contribute in a much bigger way then. But it's what we want everybody to be doing as well is just be thinking about what are those things to you? What do you enjoy? What are you good at? What is there a demand for? Like literally, just as you were saying that, right off the top of my head, I'm thinking if I was to create another course that wasn't coaching related at all, like what would I create? And I thought, okay, just immediately, what is something that I think, oh, well, I'm good at that because I just find it easy. I would create a course on presentation, presenting skills. And I would apply it to presenting on Facebook Lives, presenting on a Zoom conference call, presenting, standing up in front of an actual audience, but just generally presenting. And it would probably be a very, very successful course. And it was born out of just thinking, yeah, I'm good at that. That's what I'll do. Right. That'll be my niche because I'm good at that. And everybody has something that they're good at. Everybody does.
And you know what? Even if you're not, guys, just go out and learn something. Because the thing is, if somebody, right, has got a pain in their life or a challenge, or they're looking to achieve a goal of some sort, and they want to do an online course in order to be able to learn that, they know they've got an alternative to go and learn that thing themselves. They know they could go and read books and listen to podcasts and sift through billions of records on Google and look for the right information, but it's overwhelming and it takes too much time to learn. So somebody goes and learns it, and that's all education is, right? Yeah. It's somebody learning something and then teaching it to somebody else. Right? If you want to take the time to read, like, say, for example, you're like, you know what? I would love to help people on confidence, but I don't actually know fuck all about it. Right? I'm not being funny. If you go and watch 10 1-hour YouTube videos on confidence, then you go and read 6 back-to-back books on confidence, and then you go and study some of the greats that teach confidence and see what they do and the tools and techniques they use, you have already got more knowledge on confidence than 99.999% of the world. Yep. Right? Because they say you only need to read 1 book a month for a year to be in the top 5% experts in the world or something, because nobody reads information in batches. They generalize information. Nobody goes out and reads 10 books on confidence. So if you go out and compound that knowledge on top of each other, you're already going to know more than majority of people. And you could even be transparent and say, look, yeah, I've learned this through books and courses and mentors and videos, but I've already cut through all the learning curve that it took to sort of go through the paralysis of sifting through all the information that didn't work. And I've now got the consolidated raw information that's going to get you results. And I want to deliver this in this short and concise, results driven course. So look, even if you haven't got it all figured out yet, it doesn't take long to go and learn the information and then deliver it in an online course format.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. That's how anybody learns anything. That's how people become experts. You might listen to that and think, oh, but could I truly call myself an expert doing that? Well, yeah, absolutely you could, because you've gone and done a lot more legwork and a lot more research and study than 99.9% of the rest of the population. And the people that we look at to be experts, that's what they've done. That's what they've done. They've learned it. They've learned the stuff, and then they've taught it to somebody else.
Yeah, but they're like, oh yeah, but it's copying, it's plagiarism, it's repositioning. Well, that's what education is. There's nothing new about anything, everything has already been done, and we're just like learning it from the best people we possibly can and then sharing it with others. And luckily you're now living in a day and age where that information isn't hard to come across. You used to be able to have to sift through old fucking library books to be able to find this information. Now you can type in, find the experts, learn directly from them, and be able to deliver it. So guys, right, we're in a good opportunity. So first you find your niche, simple as that. Then this is the thing that nobody does, so simple, is you go and find where that niche is. So if it's, say for example, it's confidence coaching, or it's, coaching for CEOs, whether it's the specific topic that you're coaching on or the specific type of person, you go out and find where those people are. So if it's CEOs that you're going to be helping on your course, you go on LinkedIn, you find a group of CEOs. If it's a course on confidence, you go on Facebook groups and you type in confidence, you go to Facebook groups and you find tons of different groups on building confidence and things like that. And guys, you might be thinking that can't be that easy to find that sort of stuff. It's there. You just type it into social media, which is essentially a search engine. It has a search bar, you can find things. So you just go and find communities and groups and pages and hashtags and, people on LinkedIn that have the specific problem that you can solve, or are generally discussing the certain topic that you want to deliver a course on. And then here's the thing, you just ask them to fill out a survey. It's so simple. And people are prepared to fill out surveys. I don't know why, but they're just quite helpful. Like some people aren't, some people are busy, but because again, you've got social media with millions of people on there, you only need handful of applications to get some such insightful information. So all you do with this survey, and you go to Google Forms or Typeforms or Jot Forms, and you create a survey for free. And you literally ask them, what is the number one question you have about, and then you add your area of topic, or what is the biggest challenge you have, or what is the biggest pain that's, you experience in your life, when it comes to this topic. And you just find out everything they want to learn, all their pains, all their desires, everything. You even ask them, how much would you pay for a course that could solve this problem for you, right? And just get the exact information of what would be in a course, what they'd find valuable, what questions they have, what pains they want solved, what outcomes they want met, how much they're willing to pay for it. And that's the stage 2, the
Yeah.
data, because rather than guessing and creating a course and hoping someone wants it, which is what a lot of people do, they go, oh, I want to create a course, so I'm going to sit in the studio or, you know, set up my own online camera, my home camera, and record a course for 6 months because I hope that they want it, because I think I know what these people need. Don't make that mistake. Rather than guessing what people need, you just ask them and find out exactly what they want. And the next step is just to give it to them.
Exactly. It's really interesting, right? I was talking to a dog groomer recently, and I've always thought this would actually be a great idea for an online course, because this dog groomer is struggling a lot because, of course, with COVID, she can't be working. And so the owners of the dogs, they're struggling because they really need their dogs to be groomed. And the dog groomer is struggling because they can't work at the moment. And I thought to myself, how amazing would it be for that dog groomer to release an online course, not only on grooming dogs, but grooming one particular breed? How valuable would that be to have one dog groomer who has expertise in one kind of breed show people how to groom their own dogs from home? And especially now, they have to be doing that because of COVID. Think about how many people around the world must be a dog owner with that one particular breed of dog that would like to know how they can groom that dog from home now that they can't go to the groomers. Something like that could blow up.
And I love how specific it is, because that's one of the things we encourage people to do when they're creating a course. Make it specific, because then it's so easy to search for the people that need that. Now, say, for example, you're a dog groomer for Great Danes, a dog, right?
Yeah.
You just literally, I'm not joking, and go and prove this. I've never ever searched this, but I can promise you it's there, and you can go and try it and test it. Type in Great Danes to Facebook, go to groups, and you'll be fucking shocked at how many groups there are about Great Danes.
Yeah, honestly.
Now,
there'll be groups
every one of those people. Go on. Sorry.
There'll be groups specifically for owners of Great Danes, right? And that is it. There's your audience.
Do you reckon that's how that guy became so successful selling fox piss? Do you reckon there's a fox piss group?
I bet, mate. Depending on what they need the fox piss for, I can guarantee that there's some group of farmers somewhere that will know that that's a fucking valuable thing.
They might not call it fox piss community, but yeah, there'll be someone in there that discusses that. But no, type in Great Danes to Facebook, go to groups. You'll find communities of people that like Great Danes. Type in Great Danes to hashtags on Instagram, and you will find pages dedicated to Great Danes, and also hashtags of people that have Great Danes. You know, there you go. Already you've got 2 platforms full of hundreds of thousands of people that need the exact service you've got to offer. And then guess what? You sell it to them. So simple. You just sell it to them. So, right, this is the next thing that's going to blow your mind, right? The definition of an entrepreneur is to throw yourself off a cliff and build a plane on the way down. Now, this is going to scare the life out of you, but I promise you now, it's how all the successful course creators do it. And it's only scary in your mind. Once you actually do it and you see the benefits of it, it doesn't have to be so scary. But what we do, and we're transparent about this, is we sell the course first before creating it. Now, that's going to be very alien to a lot of people, because they would, how could I possibly sell something if I haven't got it? But here's the key. We deliver the course live. And by live, we mean on Zoom. Therefore, you don't have to spend any time creating it. But the most important thing is you get to create it specifically for your ideal customer, i.e. the people that have actually bought it. Again, rather than guessing what people want, you find out exactly what they want. So here's the rough process. You pick a niche, Great Dane dog grooming, okay? You go and find the communities, groups, hashtags, and places where those people are, forums online and stuff like that. And then you ask them to fill out a survey. You find out exactly what they want, need, pain, desires, objections, fears, goals, money they would spend on solving this problem, having a very lovely, prim and proper Great Dane that's all been polished and cut and snipped, or whatever they do with them. I don't know. And then they ask them the questions. They get that exact information, the exact information that they want. Then they sell it. Now, it's kind of accurate at this point, because you've got the information from people that have Great Danes, but not necessarily people that are willing to invest in a course on Great Danes. Then once you've sold it, and the way you sell it, by the way, is just get the questions that they asked in the survey and reverse engineer them into subject lines. So if they say, my number one question is how to keep the coat on my Great Dane looking shiny, right? That's my number one question. Well, there is week 1 of your content? Now, hopefully, if you groom Great Danes, you know how to answer that question very easily, and you can show up on a Zoom live and give them the answer. Maybe you can put together a couple of PowerPoint slides to, conceptualize it a little bit and bring a bit of tangibility to what you're sharing. But essentially, it's just free flow from the top of your mind, because that is easy to you because you're an expert in that area. And if you're not, guess what you do? You research online how to make a Great Dane's coat shiny, and you learn how to do it, and then you deliver it in your course. But the reason why, so the extra bit I wanted to mention with the surveying is, once people actually buy it and you've told them what you have in your course, and it's on a basic sales page that you can create based using click and drag and drop software these days for free. Once you've created that sales page and you've sold it and you've told people it's going to be live, you then survey the people that bought it again. Now, this is really valuable, because now not only are you getting the data from people that are potentially interested in filling out a survey, but you now get the data from the people that are on your course. Now, if you'd already created the course, you couldn't have done this. But now you ask them, why did you buy the course? What would make this a great investment for you? Like, what do you want to learn specifically? And then you go and tailor your course content specifically for those people. And then you deliver it live on Zoom. And each week you get the opportunity to ask them, like at the end of the training, you say, what did you like? What did you not like? What did I miss out? What would you have loved to have seen? And then guess what? Week 2, because you haven't recorded it now, you just add that in. And by the end of your program, your course, you've created the perfect, bespoke, valuable course that gives every single customer that bought your course every single thing they want and need, and every single question was answered. And then guess what? Because you've delivered it on Zoom, you've recorded it, you've now created your course, you package it up, and you make $1 million, but not just from selling a video that you think people want, but a tailored, customized program based on your actual customers, giving them exactly what they want. And that's when it's going to really blow up, because it solves a problem, and it meets an outcome, and it's valuable. And that's all there is really to it. Simple.
Doing it that way as well it's so much more beneficial for you and the person that's bought the course. Like, it's more beneficial for you because you didn't have to go through all of that time and heartache actually building a course that you don't even know if people want it or not, and then you might not even sell it. But it's also so much more beneficial for the customer, because like Lewis said there, going through that process, let's say for instance you follow that exact process and you get to the end of week 1. And then, because you are creating the course as you go, you might say to your customers, right, what would you have really liked to have seen in week 1, right? In addition to what I did, in addition to what you learned, what was missing? What wasn't there? And one person on that dog grooming course might say, oh, you know what I would love to have seen? I would have loved to have seen just like an example, like of you actually doing the grooming, right? I know the steps now because you told me the steps and I understand it and I follow it, but I would love to see a visual. And you know what you can do? Grab your phone, go into your groomer or wherever you are, right? Wherever you groom these Great Danes, get someone to film it, you giving a demonstration, and then upload it as like an extra module on that week. And it's all additional learning for the clients. But you wouldn't have known to have done that if you weren't teaching the course live and you weren't getting that live feedback. You wouldn't have known. So when people kind of have this very odd mindset, and I don't understand it, where they're like, oh, but isn't there something dishonest about selling something that's not yet created? I'll tell you what's really dishonest is selling something to people that you don't even know they fucking want it. That's not good. You only want to be selling this course to people that you absolutely know that they want it because they've told you they want it.
And it's so backwards as well, because people spend 6 months creating this course that no one wants to buy. And also, because it's like this on-demand recorded set of videos, it's just soulless and boring. They're sitting there listening to this professionally recorded video. Hey, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about grooming a Great Dane. What people want is they want, hi guys, how you doing? I'm so excited for you to be here. Today we're going to be talking about Great Danes. Got lots of value to share with you. I've got some slides here. I'm going to literally show you everything that you need to know to get your Great Danes looking the bollocks. No, I'm joking, you wouldn't say that. But so they like that raw and unedited, uncut version anyway, because it feels real, and it's engaging. And also, the great thing about it is because it's live, they've got accountability to actually show up and they can actually communicate in the comments to their peers. So it's like this full live experience where they actually get to be a part of it and ask their questions. So it's considerably more valuable to them anyway. If you're going to do a live course, people will pay like 5 times the amount for it, because, you know, a video, if it's just a recording, it's just, you know, something they're going to sit there on their own, and maybe they won't even get around to opening their email to actually access that content, you know. But when it's like showing up at a specific day and a specific week, come ready with their questions that they can ask in the comments on Zoom, you know, it's just such a better, more engaging, rewarding, valuable experience for them as well. So it's, people might think, oh, I can't possibly sell it first because I'd rather get it perfect and make it more valuable. It's going to be less valuable. It's more valuable if you just serve your customers. And for the people that are worried about, oh, well, I would be scared that I would get on live and I wouldn't be able to deliver it. Remember what we said. These people have no idea about the area of topic, you know, that you've got to deliver. You will blow their mind. You know, some of the things me and Liam share sometimes, we go, oh, I forgot, I didn't even realize people didn't know that. Like, and that just blew their mind. And that was so simple. It's like something we forgot that we even learned, because it's just so obvious and basic, isn't it? No, It's not though. It is to us. It's not to them.
Yeah, that really is a mindset that everybody listening to this does need to overcome, because it is a difficult mindset to overcome. And it's the sort of mindset that a lot of people do have, is that whole idea of thinking and feeling like you need to be this 25, 30 year seasoned expert, being around the world, being to every fucking seminar before you ever have the right to stand in front of an audience and teach them something that they've paid for. And it's absolutely not true. And in fact, a lot of the time, that if somebody in that position isn't careful, they could damage their online course, because they could come to it with too much of a strong professional viewpoint, with too much high level information that's just going to baffle and confuse people that are buying the course. The people buying the course, they just want you to just be one step ahead, just one step ahead, just one step ahead. And if you enter it with that kind of mindset, you realize that if there is something that you're good at, something you're passionate about, or something like you can learn, there's an opportunity there for you to teach it to other people in this edutech space that we're in. And we've proven it. We've proven it time and time again. We've proven it with very successful courses, because we learn something, we master it, we teach it. And then the people that we teach it to are very, very grateful that we've taught it to them, because now they know what we know. And that's, it's how we've built our business.
Exactly. So guys, we're living in a time right now where all you need to do is think about something you'd like to deliver, find those people that want that thing, ask them what they want, sell it first using social media, create a basic sales page that says all the information of what your course is going to be on. Even put a money back guarantee. If you're really worried about, but what about if I can't deliver? What about if I take people's money and I can't deliver because I'm not good enough, because I'm a fraud and I'm not loved and, you know, not significant enough? You know, we all think about that stuff when we first get started, guys. You're not unique. It's okay to doubt yourself a little bit. We've all been there. But if you do think that, offer them a money back guarantee. Yeah. So if they don't like it, it's fine. They get their money back, you know, and then no harm's done. But they won't, because they will get value, because they don't have any of that information. And as long as you're providing something that's going to help them, and they keep on taking that step, and they're accountable to actually consuming that content, you know, they're going to get a result by the end of it. And that result is worth paying for. So yeah, guys, you're in a position right now where you can do this. And then the key to this is, by the way, you do this live. And then the key is, what you do is you press the record button, you deliver a training that doesn't involve any Q&A or anything like that. And you share your PowerPoint, you deliver, the core content for an hour or an hour and a half or whatever you want to deliver it on. And then you finish, you press stop on the recording button. And then that's when you open it up to Q&A, and you say, so how can I help? Is there anybody that's got any questions? If there's anything I left out, and you get your feedback to tweak and refine the next week's training. But then what you do is you use those recordings, and that becomes the sort of evergreen version of your course. Now, evergreen is a way of automating the course sales, and that's when you can earn the passive income. You know, you essentially have this course recorded in an online learning platform. And like we said at the beginning, you know, it's not good to do a course that's recorded because you don't know what people want. But if you've done it live originally, then you've tailored it, tweaked it, refined it based on data and based on your customers. So once the once the live course is finished, it's now suitable for an online recording version, because you know that it's what people wanted and they were very happy, and everything that you would have missed out or forgot or made a mistake in or didn't clarify, you've added in by the time it gets to the end. Then all you need to do is drive traffic, whether that's social media traffic into these groups and places where these people are interacting, or use the money to reinvest into Facebook advertising and LinkedIn advertising and Instagram advertising and Google advertising, and just drive traffic through to your course. There's only 3 things you really need, and that's traffic, conversions, and a product. Traffic is advertising on social media, and you can pay for that. So that's like one thing that just doesn't need to, be a problem, because you either use social media organic traffic for free, your social media profiles, or once you've got a bit of money, you pay for that and you outsource it, and then you get as much traffic as you need. Traffic's not a problem. The conversion just needs to be a way of selling that course. And all that needs to be is a basic sales page, like a 1-page website with a video on there. Like, you can really overcomplicate webinar this and upsell this and downsell that. You don't need that. All you need is a video with a sales presentation on a page, and you drive traffic to that page. And then the product that you have is your course. So you drive traffic to a page with a video on it and sell a course, which is essentially a username, login, and password to a platform that has some old Zoom recordings on there. But those Zoom recordings are incredibly valuable. They might not have cost you anything to create. They might not have, it might not have spent long to build the business side of things. It's incredibly simple. But to somebody that needs that very thing, whether that's to break up with a partner that's in they're in a toxic relationship, or it's to, finally start to create the, go off their dream job, or explore career options, or, get their sense of style and fashion back to where it was when they were younger. All these things that are causing people considerable pain in their life, you very simply provide that to them.